Mistakes we made early on in our marriage. We are making this series of videos to help couples who are experiencing problems in their marriage or would like to avoid them. Cris and I experienced our fair share of problems early on in our marriage, and we would like to talk about them to see if we can be of any help to couples who want to avoid the pitfalls. This is the second video in the series. If you haven't seen the first one, perhaps you could click on the link at the bottom of your screen right now and watch that first video where we talked about the first problem last week. Now, the second problem we faced. Cris wants to talk about it first.
Well, being insecure led me to be very jealous. And every time I saw you talk a little bit longer with another woman, or, always be around other women, it would make me feel very jealous of you and insecure about it. Before we got married, a lot of girls were after you. So that helped a little bit. It helped me feel insecure about us because I would always, have that thought in the back of my mind, what if he falls in love with someone else? And that was a big problem for us because I would be very emotional about it. I didn't know how to handle it. And I would just fight with you. I would be very emotional about it because I was feeling like I could lose you at any time.
Right. And that insecurity and her jealous behavior caused me to be annoyed with her and always ask her, what is that? What are you seeing? I mean, you're seeing things. I'm not doing anything wrong. What are you suggesting? So it made me really angry because I thought she didn't trust me. She was suspicious of me. What made it worse on my part was that I never saw any problem with me as a married man having a female friend or female friends, which today I realize is a big problem. When I grew up, I have a sister. I grew up around many cousins, my age, female cousins. I had lots of aunts around my house all the time. So I grew up being very comfortable around boys, around girls. And in school, I had girls around me all the time. So when I got married to Cris, I just maintained that same behavior, that same attitude. And I never thought it was a problem until she began to express that jealousy. When I matured, I came to understand that it is not appropriate for a married man to have female friends. Basically, when you get married, your best friend and only female friend is your wife. And the sooner a married man gets that through his head, the sooner he will have peace inside his marriage, especially if the wife has problems of trust or jealousy.
And in today's world, the women are offering themselves, especially to married men. So the married women, they are always looking out, is my husband being tempted? Who are his friends at work? Mm-hmm. And if he gives her motives to feel insecure, if he, is always on the phone with the woman, is always chatting online, then it's really hard for the woman to trust him because feelings can start developing in that friendship. Because it happened to me, when I was in school, I had a lot of boys who were my friends, and they started developing feelings for me, and I only considered them as friends, but they started having feelings for me. I had to cut that friendship off. So I thought, what if the same thing happens to my husband and this other woman?
Mm-hmm. So the problem really was taken care of with you overcoming your jealousy. You're saying that you had to pray a lot about it and change the way you saw things.
Yeah, and I realized that I was making myself very small and insignificant in this relationship, because every time you have these jealousy tantrums, it's like you're the little one because mm-hmm. you're so insecure. Please just look at me. So I realized that I was making myself little, and I was making myself worse than those women. I was making him annoyed with me, and that wasn't the point.
Making yourself weak.
Yeah.
And So you regained your confidence. You were able to gain confidence, praying and changing the way you looked at the situation, and you were able to control those jealous feelings.
Yeah, because I started realizing
Mm-hmm.
the situation that I was making myself look bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started changing.
So on my part, I came to the conclusion that it wasn't healthy for my marriage for me to be very close to female friends, to other women. It wasn't proper for me to do that because she was my wife. She was clearly having a problem with that, and as her husband, I had to help her. You know, for a while, I pushed the problem to her and I said, that's your problem. You're being jealous. You are seeing things. But one thing I've learned in marriage is that you can never have a problem that belongs to only one of you. A problem in a marriage is a problem of you both. So I realized it was also my problem, the fact that she was jealous. So I had to help her. And the way I found to help her was I just decided to keep my distance and take every opportunity I could to reinforce to Cris that she was not only my only friend, but also my only female friend. My best and only female friend. So once I made that change in me, that also helped even more to take care of the problem.
That's very nice.
Thank you. It is very nice to be each other's, to know that you're each other's best friend, that no one else is here in between you. That's very reassuring in a marriage. I would like to say to couples who may be facing similar problems that it is a very common problem to have trust issues, jealousy issues in a marriage. And these problems that we had happened because of these behaviors that we were both having. They were causing the problems, making the problems worse. So it's important, if you are married and you're having trust issues, that you also reevaluate your connections, your friendships with people outside the marriage of the opposite sex. You woman, do you have any male friends? You men, do you have female friends? Do you have a connection with your ex, with someone that you were involved with in the past? Some of you may be remarried, so your previous husband or wife may still have visitation rights for the children and the contact is inevitable, but how are you keeping that contact? It's important that you keep it in a very courteous and almost business-like manner in order to avoid issues of trust in the couple, in between the two of you. So we believe this is a very important point in a marriage, and if you both apply that, you will take care of this problem as well. And next week we're going to talk about another one and how we overcame it. Thank you very much for watching.